de ce symposium que nous ouvrons maintenant. Perché la photogrammetria? Pourquoi la photogrammétrie? Ça peut paraître curieux pour quelque chose qui existe maintenant depuis, disons, 150 ans, et qu'on soit toujours à se demander pourquoi faire de la photogrammétrie. Surtout si l'on pense que les tout premiers travaux de la toute nouvelle photogrammétrie qui se sont faits vers 1850, ils n'étaient pas pour la topographie, mais pour l'architecture. Les tout premiers relevés photogrammétriques qui ont existé, disons 10 ou 15 ans après l'invention de la photographie, est apparue la notion de photogrammétrie, qui ne s'appelait pas photogrammétrie, mais peu importe. Et les tout premiers travaux ont été effectués, les premiers essais, les premières recherches sur des monuments, et non pas pour la topographie. Mais si l'on considère la situation actuelle des applications de la photogrammétrie, disons patrimoine architectural, on peut effectivement se demander pourquoi faire de la photogrammétrie. Alors, moi qui suis non pas le père, comme dit mon ami et voisin de la photogrammétrie architecturale, plutôt le grand-père, et la réponse est que c'est assez décevant et que finalement, la photogrammétrie, les relevés photogrammétriques n'ont pas encore vraiment réussi à s'imposer dans le domaine de la conservation et de la restauration des monuments. Nous avions pourtant fondé un comité international spécialisé dans ce domaine, qui s'appelle le CIPA, le CIPA, autrement dit Comité international de photogrammétrie architecturale. Et pour les plus jeunes d'entre vous, je crois qu'il...
In 1968, following a meeting of ICOMOS, International Council on Monuments and Sites, and the ISP, International Society of Photogrammetry, it was decided to establish the CIPA, Comité International de Photogrammetrie Architecturale, of which the engineer Maurice Carbonel was elected president. That we see here, in the speech at our conference in 2003. The organization first met in 1970 and issued a series of regulations, and most interestingly all aimed at the documentation of the monuments, with absolute precedence to monuments subject to risk of destruction. To this end, a network of correspondence had been organized, in the sense that from each country they were sent information on existing equipment, on the work done with photogrammetry, on the techniques used and training courses on the use of photogrammetry. At the first meeting, which took place in Prague, Professor Rafael de Vita, head of the Stereophotogrammetric section for the Survey of Monuments and Urban Environments of the Institute of Architecture and Town Planning of the Engineering Faculty of Bari, and he was among those who proposed the finalization of the relief. In fact, if we take a look at the CIPA bulletin, one of the first extracts sent to all correspondents, where they were brought back, country by country, the equipment supplied to the various bodies operating in the sector, the techniques used and in particular some works carried out. And, we had seen it before on the DVD. We find the relief of the Castle of Conversano, which was among the first works carried out in Bari. It was decided to start 2 archives of plates, separated in different places, in order to guarantee a certain security for these archives. Actually, the International Frame Archive, it was never implemented and the reasons were many. First, there was the problem of the lack of uniformity of the equipment, because everyone used what they had. In Bari we had the Wild A2 autograph prototype, with the Wild P30 Photodiodolite for shooting, that we have already seen which used 10 by 15 centimeters slabs. Therefore, in addition to the economic problem, there was that of not being able to duplicate the plates. And then even if these plates were acquired in an archive, could not be returned photogrammetrically, because there were different types of restitutors, and each accepted a certain type of slab. The most used equipment was that of Wilde, with a stereometric chamber and single chamber, and those of Zeiss. It was practically impossible for everyone to use the frames, and this already discouraged a lot. Plus there was the background speech, that not everyone still accepted photogrammetry, for which this documentation would have been destined for posterity. And someone could have used it today, collecting the frames in the archive.